It's been a while, but we now have another snakening on NA. We have Cooper being dropped by Vidil and Sphinx, and rumors are he's being replaced by none other than his org mate and ex-duo Kanata. This is going to lead to a big snakening. This could change a lot of trios. I'll talk about why this happened and what it means going forward. I also want to recap what happened in the Solo Cash Cup finals. We had none other than Craze stopping Peterbot, Peterbot not winning a tournament. A lot of you guys will be very happy about that. We also had Fodoxy bringing home his first Solo Cash Cup finals and an incredibly exciting finish over on EU. So, lots to talk about. Let's jump into it. Before we talk about solos, it's NA. We have more drama and a new snakening. Now, we don't know exactly how this one's ended up just yet. I'll probably have to finish up recapping in tomorrow's video, but we have Cooper tweeting out LFT. He also then tweeted out, never believed in magic, which is normally the start of the quote, never believed in magic until my dogs turned into snakes, which a lot of Fortnite pros like to use, normally referring to someone very close to them, snaking them. So I'm reading between the lines here. I'm guessing Sphinx has decided to drop Cooper. Sphinx and Cooper have been incredibly good friends for a while now, but it could be referring to Vidil as well. Cooper, Sphinx, and Vidil literally live together. Vidil has come from EU to play with him last season, then decided to come back again for a second season. They just recently on the Dignitas Fortnite channel did like a house tour showing off their house and all their setups. They literally live together. So this is going to be a bit of an awkward one. I'm not really sure what's led to this. They're obviously a phenomenal team. They came top 5 last season. We're set to get a top 5 this season. They've had a bit of issues with their drop spot situation because they were going Mast Meadows, which Acorn came and claimed with the land spot. Kind of means you have to leave the job. They went Seaport. We're looking pretty solid, but Booga with Threats and Craze now showed up. They did really well in the most recent finals. Booga, that is, not Vidil, Cooper, Sphinx, sadly. And I guess that one performance is enough to now make them want to split. I don't really know who Cooper's getting replaced by. If it is Vidil and Sphinx looking for one, neither of them have tweeted out. So I don't think they've all split. I'm guessing Cooper's getting replaced. I have no idea who he'd be getting replaced by. This could be a very, very spicy snakening. I've been waiting around, trying to figure out what's happening, and nothing's happened. So I might have to recap the rest of that in tomorrow's video. We do still have the EU finals as well, so there'll be something to talk about. But I don't know where Cooper's going to end up. Most people's best guess, and my best guess, is probably Kanata. He'll replace maybe G Money or Osid. Kanata and Cooper played together all of last year. They went to Globals together. They didn't do too hot at Globals, but they both said they underperformed at Globals. They didn't prepare enough. They didn't play well. There didn't seem to be a whole lot of bad blood there. Both still signed a Dignitas, so it'd be really cool to see the Dig duo run it back again, but I'm super shocked by this information. I did not see this coming at all. I was sitting down, ready to record this video about the solos, and then I just look on Twitter and see an LFT post from Cooper. This is kind of sleepy Antics coming in here. I've just recorded the whole video. I haven't even turned the lights off yet, but I don't know how I didn't see this coming. We have had Cooper replaced by Kanata. I just talked a bunch about how I'm so excited to see Cooper and Kanata back together again. The dynamic duo, they played so well. I'm guessing, now that I think about it, the reference about dogs turning into snakes could have been referencing not only Vidil and Sphinx, you know, the trios that he lives with currently. He is also now being replaced by a friend of his, an org mate, and his ex-duo, Kanata. So this is a bit of a messy one for Cooper. I do feel for him. It is all business at the end of the day. Kanata always says that, even when he's been snaked and dropped in the past. It's all business. Kanata has now found himself on a very solid trio. He was doing well with G Money and Osid, but a lot of people from the start saying, look, they're just not up to your standards. They're not good enough for you. You deserve better teammates. And it looks like Kanata agrees. He's now found his way with Vidil and Sphinx. We'll see how long this lasts. I have no idea where they're dropping. This is still going to cause potentially a big ripple of snakening effects because now Cooper is completely alone and looking for a trio. So any team right now who's at the top, who's been not performing as well as they'd like, who needs a really decorated, solid fragger, things are going to get messy. So I don't think it's over just yet, but I did want to keep the rest of the video in because I thought it was funny how wrong I got this, but we have a new trio. Cooper's now looking for an entirely new team. Now, moving on to the Solo Cash Cup finals, we had Peterbot stopped yet again. We had Craze winning his first ever Solo Cash Cup finals. He's been really, really dominant in the format since it came in last season. I think he's gotten 4 top 10s and 2 of them being top 5s. He's been playing really, really well now, but he got his first victory, finishing it on 423 points, a really, really solid performance. He played 9 matches, won 2 of them with an average elims of 4.3 and an average placement of 26.1, which doesn't sound that impressive, but when you have a few games like a 98 and a 65 dragging it down, it makes it look a lot worse. But he got a 5th, 1st, 1st, 8th, and 3rd, which is really, really good in solos. And if he beats Peterbot, you know he had to have a good performance, especially when Peterbot was playing really well. This wasn't like a world record, like 500-600 point Peterbot performance like we saw a couple weeks ago, but he finished on 402 points, 2nd place overall, less than 20 points behind Craze. So Peterbot did well, kicked off with a 17 kill win, and at the end of this game pulled off one of the most ridiculous clutches I've seen. I'll just show you the clip and then I'll talk about it. This is a pretty rough zone. P's gonna skirt around the edge. He has to mountain goat his way up the move. Get. What have I just watched? Are you kidding me? What the f is that? We were dead to zone. We pull off some crazy samurai shit, climb up the wall, jump. Are you fucking kidding me? And we get a 17 kill win. Like, only Pete does that. Now, this has sparked a bit of a debate on my Twitter. I posted this on Twitter and it's getting a lot of attention, and people saying that, oh, there's no way that was intentional. Why are we getting so excited? Oh, it was clearly a mistake. I mean, come on. It's Peterbot. If anyone's going to be able to pull that off and deliberately do it, it's Pete. And honestly, if you look at the way the clip plays out, he wall runs up. He doesn't instantly jump off. He waits, delays it until he starts to lose momentum, and then jumps off the wall and then lands on the stair. Now, you be the judge. Let me know in the comments down below whether you think it was intentional or not. Even if it wasn't intentional, it was just pure luck. That is still insane that he got this lucky to then close out a 17 kill win in his first game. Now, there's been a lot of hate on the new movement. Reese Hub has been, championing this and leading the charge on YouTube. It is hilarious to see Reese Hub's takes on it, and I have to agree. Most of the new movement is pretty useless. When you see things like this, it honestly kind of makes it worth it. Super, super cool to see such a nuts clutch. Opening up with a 17 kill win, I thought, that's it. Peterbot's winning the whole tournament. He's going to run away with it. It's going to be back-to-back-to-back wins like it was a few weeks ago. He's going to win the tournament halfway through. We're all just watching for second. But Peterbot started to slow down. He started to have some rough games after this. He had a 62nd, 61st, 70th, then clapped back with a 10 kill win. So basically 2 end games, 2 wins. Things are looking good. Then got a 75th, 7th, 4th, and 13th. So didn't play terrible by any means. He had 4 games where he didn't make the end game, and then every time he did, absolutely dominated. But Craze just played really, really solid. Craze played good Fortnite. 423 points is extremely commendable, and Xander in 3rd was on 361. So it was a 40-point difference between 2nd and 3rd, but Craze and Peterbot were neck and neck for the whole tournament after every time Pete had a big game. But Craze looking good, and again, coming off the back of his 7th place in the trio finals, playing alongside Booga and Threads, people are really paying attention to Craze. He's had a pretty quick blow up. He was playing with Oliver OG a few seasons ago, started to get a bit of attention. Then he started playing with Bucky and Okus, did really well with Bucky and Okus, got a lot of attention because obviously Bucky has a big following. Bit of drama with splitting with Bucky. Booga picked him up. A lot of people questioning that decision. Oh, is Craze good enough to fit with Booga? Booga's back grinding, but they've looked really good. Even Booga and Threats, I talked to them about this. When they picked him up, they were like, look, we know he's a crazy fighter. We can see the mechanics, but we both kind of thought he'd be a bit of an idiot. A lot of these up-and-coming guys are really good fighters, but their game knowledge and their decision-making just isn't quite top tier. But they said, look, he really has a fantastic understanding of the game. He's really coachable. He's really locked in, and we actually do think he is going to be a phenomenal player and is already really solid. And now he is already thriving. I'm super excited to see Craze on top. Now, unfortunately, the rest of the leaderboard, there are quite a few names you're not going to recognize who I'm a little bit suspicious of, but I'll skip over those. I just want to read out some of the names I was super excited to see up there at the moment. We had Muzz bring it back after a really rough start where he had to end stream. We had Scare Bear, Epic Whale, Kanata, Victor V, even Cam Slam is back on top. We had 51 Cole, who I think has been doing really, really well consistently. Ritual, and I really wanted to gas up Marius. Marius came 22nd overall from EU on NA, but even better than that, Marius dropped a 35 kill win in opens on EU ping. So I made a react video. If you guys want to go check it out, it's on my react channel. Him getting a 35 kill game on over 100 ping. This is absolutely absurd. He's playing from Germany right now. He is boot camping in Germany, so he's getting slightly better ping to NA. But I asked him in my chat today, it was still 100. So huge shout out to Marius popping off in opens and finals, and Kurama, the French controller goat, yet again winning earnings on NA. He has earned so many times in NA finals from EU, it is ridiculous. Moving on over to EU, we had Fredoxy closing out in first on 383 points. Fredoxy has a lot of eyes on him right now. Him and his trio are trying to contest Veno at Mass Meadows, which a lot of people are questioning. Why are you contesting the EU FNCS champions who have a land spot? But Fred pointing out, showing that he is clearly a very, very good player, very good fighter. 383 points is a super impressive performance. His overall stats don't sound that good with average elims and placements, but you have to look at how consistent the games are when he made it to endgame. He got a 5th, 8th, 3rd, 5th, 3rd, and 6th. That is ridiculous in how stacked these lobbies are with, you know, some really good aimers running around. Fishy set the points to beat on 374, so Feroxy had to clutch up his last game with the pressure on. He got the 2 elim 6 to bring it home. Super happy for Fred. I want to give him a huge shout out. I do want to take a chance. I haven't talked about this too much on my YouTube channel. You guys may have seen I did launch my mousepad business, Arcaloot. We've been selling mousepads for almost a year now. A bunch of pros have picked them up, and I haven't been pointing it out too much, but we just managed to have 3 solo Cash Cup winners. Terok on OCE, Feroxy on EU, and Craze on NA, all using my mousepad. I'm not going to try and say them using my mousepads why they won the solo Cash Cup, but a lot of you guys have been asking me, Aussie, I like to look at the mousepads. They look amazing. You have great reviews, but do they hold up at a high level? I'm trying to compete in Fortnite. I want to win tournaments. Will they work? The answer is yes. So if you want to cop a mousepad, click the link in the description down below. They clearly do hold up at a high level. I do want to give a big shout out to Fishy. He's been playing phenomenally well in solos. He's a Czech pro. I don't know if that limits his trio options. I haven't been seeing him do too much in trios, but one of the best solo players on EU consistently. 374 is amazing. We had Hlekas bring it home in 3rd as well on 373. A lot of people pointing out that, oh, it's a fresh account. It must be a fake Hlekas. It's a cheater. It was the real Hlekas. I don't know why he's on a new account. I couldn't really get to the bottom of it. All of his tweets are in Russian. Kind of hard to figure out what's going on, but he did stream the entire tournament. So anyone who's suspicious of why he's on a new account, what happened, I don't know. But him streaming the entire tournament, getting 3rd, I saw nothing suspicious. So I'm pretty happy to say that I think he's legit. I'm guessing something's happened to his account. We had Chap come in 4th and Pixie in 5th. So an incredibly stacked top 5 over on EU. Unfortunately, we didn't get any NA players in the top 25 like we did over on NA with the EU. We had Moneymaker winning the tournament for a good margin, but unfortunately had a rough finish and dropped down into 22nd. We had Nathan, another control player, doing really well. We had iDrop, Prism again, Shark making his way up there, Cammy in 9th, who again had a chance to win the tournament, but got a 13th and then a 71st in his last game to drop down. But really, really fun finish to a very stacked tournament on EU.